Yes, everyone for coming on in here and networking. Now we're going to get started with our fireside chat with Donzaleigh. Let me stop here sharing and let us have our us here together. All right. Hello, Donzaleigh. So happy to see you, Miss Donzaleigh Powell, CEO of D ConneX, as well as many other endeavors, because we have had conversations in the past. And so I am going to open the floor now for you to tell us just, the basic bio information first about yourself, and then we can dig deep into some questions and learn more about how you're a local wonder. But before we get started, just want to tell everyone that this is our local wonder series. Here in Nashville, Tennessee, we have so many amazing CEOs who are out here shining their light onto the Nashville community. And with the Startup Grind platform, I would like to highlight them nationally and internationally. So, of course, Donzaleigh is one of those, and you will see just how spectacular she is. So, no further ado, Donzaleigh, tell us more about you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Erica, for having me on. I'm definitely excited just to talk a little bit about Nashville and some of the things that I know of that are going on. But again, Donzaleigh Powell with D ConneX LLC. I run basically a consulting business. We focus on business development, diversity and inclusion, workforce development. And I know she kind of mentioned, I kind of have my hands in some other things as well. So I also do surety bonding and photography and a couple of other things. But my main focus is definitely the consulting. And I really just like connecting people at the end of the day. I formerly was the Director of Business Diversity Development for the Metropolitan Nashville Airport Authority. And while I was there, of course, continued a lot of relationships that I already had, and then grew many more in as far as diversity and inclusion, working with small minority and women-owned businesses, prime contractors, lots of, it kind of grew even more in the construction industry. So that has been my focus after I kind of went out on my own and began D ConneX. So that was kind of the beginning and just kind of been rolling with it from there.
Okay, yes. So there's many things that I would like to talk more about, but tell us a little bit more about your story, your journey. And when I say that, we all have this story. There's a conflict that happens in our lives that takes us to where we're going. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I don't know how far back. I don't know how far back to go, because
how far you need to go is where you need to go.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I think we all have, like you said, we've got those kind of pivotal moments that can happen in life. And I would say the beginning of mine, I would say my transition started, first of all, I was a teen mom. So I would start there, just kind of out living life, not really had any focus and things like that. And then boom, got focused. Let's just say that got me focused. I was like, okay, I have a choice. And so I made that decision. Okay, yes, this is the route that I'm going to go and start at least on the road to getting things together, quote unquote, together. And so kind of went through that journey. So of course, bumps all along the way. And then I'd also say within my career, every position that I've had, everything that's kind of happened has also kind of jolted me in some type of way to say I kind of have a personality to where, or thought process of progression. So whatever place I get to, that's fine. That's great. Hoorah. Yeah, I made it. But it doesn't stop there. It's going to keep going. Like, that's just how I am. I just want to continue to progress, continue to learn, continue to surround myself with people that are doing even bigger things, even better things, so that I can be learning from them. So that's just kind of a constant that has been happening. But a lot of times, like I said, in the positions, like I remember one time I was working as a supervisor for a large company that helped with government contracting, and we lost our contract. So there I was laid off. It's like, oh my goodness, here we go. You know, how is this going to go? Ended up putting me into where I ended up obtaining a position with Metro government that was perfect for me. I like having positions where, you know, I'm out in community. I'm aware of what's going on. I'm able to connect with businesses. I'm able to connect with nonprofits. So it was like perfect for me. And they had just basically created this position from two separate positions where both people left, and they merged them both. And then boom, here I was, I popped in it. So, you know, I don't think everything happens just by happenstance. I feel like that was for me, and that was the position. And then grew it with that company. And then ended up, you know, again, obtaining even more skills, started running their internship program in the summer, started running their construction readiness program. And then boom, ended up at the airport where it was a lot of construction focus. So again, it was the shakeup, but then it always kind of ended up putting me exactly where I kind of needed to be. So I'm thankful.
Wow. Okay. So something that I'm hearing you say is whenever you have a conflict, it sets the stage for something better, something greater, more attuned to who you are and where you need to be going in your life.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And I think one of the things about that is now when those things happen, it helps you to not panic. It helps you to understand at the end of the day, it might be rough for a little while, but you're on the right track. Just keep going, keep living, keep enjoying, and you'll be fine.
So the lessons, this takes us into me asking you about lessons learned. Mm-hmm. A lesson that you just said was, hey, things are going to occur. Keep living. You're going to get to the next stage in your life. And remember, don't have success amnesia and forget that you was able to survive that. Mm-hmm. You were able then to survive the next thing that happens.
Absolutely.
This is very much some part of the job description of a CEO to be able to pivot, change. Let's talk more about that. For like right now, currently in your business, and even like coming off of COVID, coming off of other circumstances, what have you had to do in your business to be flexible and to know that things are going to work out just the way it should, and I can make decisions, you know, successfully?
Yeah, so absolutely. And I think I have a perfect example of that. So for instance, when I did decide to transition into starting my own company, which was October of 2019, I was first just kind of laying the ground blocks. So I'm just trying to make sure I have everything in order, getting things together. And literally the day that I kind of quote unquote really launched my business, like really put it out there, hey, this is what I'm doing, the whole nine. That night was the tornado that happened in Nashville. So immediately, again, for a position and the type of work that I do, which is typically relationship driven. So my whole plan was, let me work these events like I normally would. Let me go. I need to meet people. I need to be in the places where I need to meet the movers and shakers. I could not do that. Nashville was in array. And immediately after that, within less than 2 weeks, COVID shut everything down. So obviously,
I'm so happy you brought that up.
Yes,
I'm so happy you brought that up, because I don't think the rest of the nation understands how much of a toll. People don't even think about tornado that happened just 2 weeks. It was chaos driving down the street.
Absolutely.
And looking at all the people out trying to fix the hurt, just people not having homes. Hurting, then COVID. Yep. Then COVID. We like, boom, boom. No other place had this happen but Nashville. And here we have local wonders that were able to still have a business. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to mention that.
You're right. It was a lot of hurt. People just still in shock. I mean, not really. Now, don't get me wrong. We've had tornadoes before. This is a place to where tornadoes are I say fairly frequent to me. But this one kind of hit home a little bit. I think a lot of the more mainstream places and wipe things out. So then with COVID, everyone's scared. So now you go from, oh my goodness, we have some people that are completely displaced. We have businesses that have been completely knocked over. We've got all of this. And then you're scared. What are we going to do? How do we even protect ourselves? How do I even go get groceries? I don't have way, So as a business, I completely, even that night when the tornado, because for some whatever reason, I was up. Typically, I go to bed early, but I was up that night. And I was literally tracking the storm, going from platform to platform, watching as it moved through the different areas and sending out. I'm on Facebook letting people know, hey, it's headed this way. Like, I mean, I didn't have much that I could do, but if anybody was up and watching, I'm like, hey, you need to get in your safe places, all of those things. And it really was like, so I immediately took down everything that I had put about, hey, I just launched a business, because now wasn't the time. Forget all of that. You go into survival mode, right? And so just kind of took a complete step back with that. But it gave me a chance to give me even more time to see, okay, what do I value? What things can I do in the meantime? What do I value, and what are the things that I can do in the meantime to continue preparing? Because the path changed, but the goal didn't change. So it was like, okay, like you said, kind of pivot. The things happen. You got your bumps in the road. You got to keep going. And so as things started to settle and things started to turn virtual, okay, now we're adapting to this new platform. We've learned more. So if you didn't know Zoom before, which I had enough Zoom. But if you didn't know it then, you know it now. Teams, all these different, platforms where you can kind of connect virtually. I've been on so many virtual conferences here lately. So you learn to go with the flow, for sure.
Yeah, I'm so happy you brought that up. And because it does make a difference in when you have to move from, I'm trying to launch this, and now I have to survive in order to keep it here, even though it wasn't even able to, like, this is a baby I need to protect, because I can't even really let it grow, because I need to hold on and keep it together here. And you said that your business is about connecting. So how can you, and you're accustomed to getting out and about, right? Like, even when you said we're talking about the past, and where you one of your dream jobs was getting out and about. Now you've learned another skill set is I can actually be intentional and do it virtual to connect with individuals instead of the in-person. But you mentioned, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say one quick thing about that. As time went on, it became typically, I like both. And I'll say this because time-wise, number one, people were at home, working from home, and you could actually get in touch with people. You could actually call, you could get a response email, whereas before everyone was so busy, you didn't have time. Like, you might not get a response. Like I said, unless you were at that perfect event where it just made sense and you were able to meet someone, you might have never got to see that CEO or that superintendent or that whoever. Whereas now, they were sitting right there, able to answer the call. So it actually worked out fine. Like I said, you kind of got to move and go with the flow.
And that's a very good point, in that I don't think that we're going to go back either. I think that we got a good taste of it. Like, hey, we can really do a lot and conduct business in ways that we didn't think that we could before.
Absolutely.
And it's okay now to do it that way. I think that people had issues about virtual and everything being so virtual. Now we're all about virtual, lots of things. And we're now going into hybrid. opportunities where, okay, well, if you can't show up, you can still show up, right? We just got to set it up that you are seen and the people are seen on the screen and still be able to participate.
Absolutely.
I think it's helpful for when you're talking about being a teen mom. I mean, you growing and having not being able to do at certain things sometimes because of needing to not be able to participate because you had to take care of one of your most important responsibilities. So it stops that instance for individuals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you mentioned was relationship. Tell me about that. Now, and I wanted you to talk about values. And I know one of your values is connecting and being connected. But tell me more about your values. And you mentioned relationship and the importance of relationship. Let's talk more about that.
Sure. So I guess for me, I appreciate, I guess, people that also are willing to be transparent. You know, I think none of us are perfect. Are you willing to, I'm not saying tell everybody your business, but I'm saying, are you willing to let down walls enough to be real? Like, I don't do fake. That's just not my personality to have to, that's just not me. I'm pretty straight to the point. I like, meeting people where they are and on all levels. Like, I'm good with, it doesn't matter where you came from, like any of that. I feel like we're all people and we all have some type of value. So it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, where can we connect or where could we fit best? That's just kind of how I see it. So value, as far as transparency, I think is important. Ethics, just general ethics. Time. A lot of people know I'm really fairly big on time. Try to be on time, do my best. So things like that are just kind of more those standard, I guess, a little bit more traditional, I guess you could say, in values in that respect.
Something you mentioned was superficiality. Let's talk about that. Have you experienced that in the Nashville ecosystem?
Say it again.
Some people being superficial and fake.
Oh, you could say yes. Nashville, and I will say this, because I am born and raised from here, I feel like I can be transparent.
Come on with it.
In Nashville is a bit different from some other places. There are definitely some cliquish type activities that as long as I can remember, have always been. Sometimes you can be, you're either in the in crowd, you're frowned upon. The collaboration sometimes just does not happen. And I'm all about collaboration. So it's been, here all along this road, because I'm just like, why? I don't care if I do photography and you do photography. Like, I have no problem with that. Whatever clients are for you. Whatever clients for me. Like, and so sometimes I can tell if I'm treated differently or something. It's just like, I'm thinking, wow. I mean, okay, but I'm not gonna, beat myself up about it. I'm not gonna beg anybody to be my friend. I move along and do what I need to do and go on about my business. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't get it. But it's a thing here, But real quick, I'm very thankful as Nashville has grown and Nashville has become the it city. You have so many people coming here from other places that they don't have that mindset. You've got people coming from California, Texas. They're not used to that. They're like, what's the problem? Like, let's go. Let's build. Let's teach each other. Let's work together. Like, so I enjoy that part because it's like they're opening up people's eyes to say, look, let's make it happen.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy you brought up Nashville. Yes, we are now, or have been coined, the it city. Mm-hmm. Some people feel you're native. Some natives feel some feelings that are not the most positive ones about being. And I can understand it, and I know you can understand it because we know what it was like. We know what it was like before. and you get comfortable with that, especially the cost of living situations.
Oh, yes.
Right? And housing. But I'm glad that you brought up the value that the It City and that coin and those people coming, transplants coming in, kind of crush some of that superficiality, some of that old money that's here.
Oh, yeah.
That stays siloed.
The level of competition. You step up. Period. You got to step up. If you were riding along on whoever's coattails before, you increase your skills, increase your this, level up. So,
and so I actually am very much thankful for the different influences that are now here and that comes here and questions and hits up against some of the systems that have been here. But I must say that those systems are pretty ingrained.
They are.
Which is one thing that happens on here, and I think you know that because you're in the Facebook group, Nashville Startup Grind Facebook group, that I'm also doing a bridge series trying to bring those silos together. You and I share that need for collaboration and connection, which is one reason why she and I have connected many times. But to bridge these things, like there's no reason why we're out here by ourselves. And let's talk about that as entrepreneurs. There's silos within the community, but it also we have some silos within on how we interact personally with each other. Can you talk more about that? I know you're a connector, so you know that people are not connected to things. Can you talk more about that?
Well, I think sometimes there's a huge trust factor. At the end of the day, I think that is key to people being willing to collaborate, people being willing to share ideas, people being willing to partner on certain projects. And I'll say for me, I'm always looking for, and you mentioned this earlier, who has the type of value system that I have. Because if not, there will be conflict. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be trying to go one way and you're going to be venturing off another. And I'm going to say, if it's against my values, it's not going to work, because my values I can't bend on. I can bend on some little stuff. I can't bend on those. So yes, I do understand to some degree. And so that's why I say it's that trust factor of really saying, hey, is this a good fit? And even sometimes I see it on two different ways. One is the relationship and the trust. We're here and we're going there. Sometimes you might not have the time to fully develop the relationship that you might want to organically have. And in those situations, it's more contractual. Let's put in writing. This is how we're going to work. If X happens, this is how we're going to get through it. So really laying that out. So sometimes you don't have the benefit of a whole lot of time to do that, but you can still work together as long as you maybe hire an attorney, make sure your paperwork is tight. Hey, this is how things are going to operate. This is my role. This is your role. We're going to work towards X, Y, and Z. So sometimes it's just business, and sometimes it takes more time, and it's more relationship driven.
You just dropped a huge gem that I need to reiterate. And this is something that CEOs, entrepreneurs, your startup, you need to understand.
Yep.
You have to be aligned with people who have your values. You're not going to ever have trust there. If you figure out a way, you won't even have trust to believe that the contract that you put together is something that you want to do ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can at least get to the point where you can write out what the contract is. Now, I find sometimes interacting with people, when you show up with a contract, they're offended.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So it's a balancing act on trying to figure out. Yep. But if you go back to what you said, that jewel that you dropped, okay, was if you have the same value system as someone else it's easy and then you can feel it just flow together. It just comes naturally. So a lot of this can be that we don't have to force circumstances. What's supposed to occur, like you mentioned, is not just happenstance that things happen. You connect with who you need to connect with. And a connector, it's amazing because you can probably feel out when you are connecting people, mm-hmm. who's going to work best with who, mm-hmm. and who should interact with who. Because I know this person got this particular value system and they're going to move this way. Oh, they're similar to that. I can't really mess with them, but I know they can mess with each other, and maybe something can happen that's going to do the good for the whole unit. Thank you for that. Wow. Go ahead.
I think because what happens when you have at least similar values, you might not always agree on something, but you both at least are to the point to where you're going to try to work together, and you won't be right and left. You might not agree on everything, but you're at least both left, and then you got to work through the nitty gritty. So, versus somebody being left and somebody being right, like, well, we this I can't meet on. It's more granular and more, you at least trust in their thought process in trying to work it out and trying to make it happen. I think it has what's been beneficial or what I've seen so far.
Something that I would like to ask you is, what is your vision for your business, for D ConneX and for other endeavors that you have? Because I know you have a conglomerate, an empire that you're probably creating over there. What is the vision, the overall vision? Because we were just talking about values, mm-hmm. and the values is what leads you to know and write out and have a vision. So what is the vision for D ConneX?
I think I wouldn't say the vision is for D ConneX.
Oh, okay.
I would say the vision is for Donzaleigh.
Come on.
D ConneX.
No, wait, you want to break that down. Look, I just want to let you know you're gonna have to break that down after you tell us what Donzaleigh vision is, because you just said something right there. You just hit on something, right? Go ahead.
So, I guess Donzaleigh is kind of almost like I mentioned. It's forever being innovated. It's forever progressing. It's forever, it's just this continuous way of all of the things that, again, that I hold in high value, that are energizing to me, that bring me energy and hopefully bring other people energy. That's where I want to be. So it's not, D ConneX is definitely an avenue for that, because I'm able to, again, I'm very passionate about helping, businesses, small businesses, women, all of those things. So that is definitely tied to, but the overarching is Donzaleigh, and what avenues, no matter what that is, whether that's D ConneX, whether that's my nonprofit, whether that's whatever it is, it's always bringing the energy, the education, their training, because that's what energizes me. And if I'm pumped up, I'm trying to push it on down. Like I always see, to me, you look back in order to share stuff that's happened, in order to say, hey, let me grab your hand. Come on. We going together. I know where I'm going. I'm trying to pull you with me. If you're already up there, I'm trying to grab your hand. Pull me. That's just kind of how I see that evolution going.
So tell me the reason why you would say it's not D ConneX, or it's not the nonprofit, or it's not the other endeavors. It is me.
So I think, okay, so this is one of the things I've been moving into and trying to talk with other people about and explain.
Come on.
Usually when people say, when you meet somebody, what's the first thing that happens? What do?
Come on.
Ain't that what that's natural? That makes you feel
I'm trying to keep my composure up in here. Don't.
It makes you feel okay to say, hi, my name is X and my title is, or I do, forget that. But to me, that's not who I am.
Yes.
That's who I am. That's something that I do.
Hallelujah.
That's something that I do and I enjoy, but that is not the essence of me. There's more to me. And that's
Hallelujah.
Let me tell you. So, girl, listen. So, even outside of work, let's step outside of work.
Come on, step on out. I'm ready.
I love, and people that do follow me, they've seen my journey as far as my weight journey, my fitness journey, all of that. But I post less about it. I'll do IG. I keep that focused to fitness for the most part. But on other platforms, I toned it all down. I'm still doing those things, but I toned it down because I got tired. People's vision can be so limited. All they see is all that they feel like you are. And so I would start having people walk up. Oh, you're the workout girl. No, I'm not. Yes, I do that, but no, that's not who I am. Do you know how much other stuff that I can bring to the table? Do you know what other things I have going on besides just me being able to lift some weights or run? So I toned it down. That was just my personal choice because I understand, again, if they see it, that's all they see. It's almost like the race horses with the thing. That's all you see. Listen, I'm trying to take the blinders off. No, it's more. It's more to me and it's more to you. So when I ask people about them, I'm like, tell me about you. And they start talking only about work. That wasn't what I meant. Could you tell me more about you? Like, what are you, again, identifying what their values are. So, yeah.
And that's the issue with a lot. And when we think about that, when we think about businesses don't thrive if it's about what you do. It should be about what you be, who you are.
It trickles down.
Because it's like you mentioned right here. My vision is about energizing me. I can't help nobody. I like helping people. Yeah, I like connecting. I like helping. I like doing those things. But guess what? First and foremost, it has to be about me. I appreciate having that particular conversation because there's an understanding there. Yes, people have to understand it's not about what you do. It's about who you are, what you're about, and the be of you. Because that is what you can hold on to. Because you can easily sell a business. Mm-hmm. Then you're not that anymore.
Right.
Then we come on and we have the identity crisis because you don't have that be, that do no more. You got only a be. Well, figure out who you be.
Like you said, or like I said earlier, or like when I was laid off. When I was laid off, what?
Yes.
I'm not Donzaleigh anymore just because I don't have, man, forget that. No, Donzaleigh right here. Donzaleigh in transition. Donzaleigh is figuring out, and that's okay. Like understanding that, it's okay. That doesn't change who I am.
Exactly. So I think it's like some people need to go back to the drawing board when they're talking about what their vision is. They didn't put themselves in there at all. It wasn't even. Now, when you think about your mission, that is what you do because that's what you get into the vision. But
right.
But the vision, okay. So we're gonna move on past that because that was real good and that was some good advice or feedback you can give to entrepreneurs. But what are some other things that you would like to say, for a new startup, for colleagues? Because one thing I know about our local wonders is they're going through it and they got experience. They have gems to give to other people. So you share something that you would love if somebody had told you.
Well, I'd say one of the things, and I'm still dealing with this because I haven't been able to fully, I guess, do this to the extent that I would like to, but it's definitely building an exceptional team. Exceptional team. I don't have to be good at everything. I I don't have to be the accountant. I don't have to be the social media guru. I don't, so really identifying what are my strengths, not to say that I don't work on them, to be knowledgeable about them, to, have experience like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. But sometimes being able to identify these are not where I need to spend my time. I need to get this to somebody that does this, that can get it going. That's what they do, and let me focus on the things again that are me, the things that I am passionate about, and that will show through the business. The accounting, yes, you got. And I'll say this, even from the positions that I've had, even when dealing with construction companies, this happens a lot, and I've given this example before. You might have a brick mason. They are very good at laying brick. That's what they do. Like, the brick's gonna be perfect, the grout gonna look nice, they're gonna have everything together. But when you step into the office, the stack of paperwork, and then people start to look at their business different because they're like, you haven't sent me the invoice, I haven't received my receipt. But that's not what they do. They lay brick. So you have to be able to adjust to say, for only for so long can I do X, Y, and Z by myself. I have to have a solid team, and I have to have the people that are exceptional at the accounting, at sending the invoices, doing it timely, so that you as a whole company as a whole still present yourself in a good light.
So in response to what you said, I highly recommend individuals read E-Myth Revisited, because it talks about the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur, and how you have to play all the roles. A part of being a technician, yes, you're the brick mason, you do that. But you also need to have somebody recording it and training other people to do it as well as you.
Yep.
For succession planning. Then you need a manager that's going to do all the other things that's going on. You need human resources, accountant. You need somebody to send out the invoices. You need somebody that's going to take the phone calls, because that's not what you want to do, and that's not what you came in to be passionate about. Then you need to work on being an entrepreneur, because that is a whole other job in itself. You're supposed to be bringing business into the company, directing and reminding people what the vision, the mission is of the organization, having people report off to you. This is different than doing the other work. So thank you for bringing that up, because that's definitely having a team. But that's hard work. We can keep on talking about that, because having an exceptional team means you have to have people that are going to see exactly what you're trying to do, and they need to be wanting to win even more than you want to win. They have to know,
and you have to again trust them enough to let that piece go.
Come on.
Let it go. If you have identified they have the skills, they have the capabilities, you've gotten to the place to where you're able to afford to build the team out, give it to them, and then trust but verify. Trust but verify. Give it to them. Give them the leeway. But then every now and then, you need to be checking in. You need to provide feedback. You need to make sure that if they're representing you, it would be at least similar to how you would be doing it yourself. If not the same, it needs to at least be similar. So yes. I mean, sometimes it takes time. I think sometimes we don't do it soon enough, and we wait too long. So just trying to, like I said, I'm even in that bubble of trying to move to say, I know. And so making sure that the build out of who is the right fit and different things is happening, because it's necessary, because I know where I'm going. So it's like, okay, let me get my pieces in place, because Donzaleigh is going to be represented.
that this is I'm so happy you brought this up. People don't understand this piece. This is you taking yourself from stage 1 to stage 2.
Yes.
Like you ain't even you think you somewhere. A lot of folks think they somewhere, but you ain't there yet. If you have not delegated and outsourced some of what's going on,
Yep.
and then just personally, if you just do it for yourself, and that goes into investing in yourself, because that means you're gonna have to pay them.
Absolutely. Yep.
And if you're not even you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You're gonna have to.
You're right.
And then if you think about it, going back to you talking about vision, it is all about entrepreneurship. Is about businesses look like their CEO. They CEO all over the place, the business all over the place. CEO got depression, the business got depression. The CEO got psychological block, the whole block is blocked up. It's true. It's true.
You're right.
So if you're gonna have to get yourself, then one thing you mentioned harmony, knowing where to put your energy and how much you should put that energy. That's CEO work. That's entrepreneur. That's the entrepreneur work right there. Knowing where to put your energy, because you don't need to be doing all that. You're supposed to be guiding the ship, the captain. You ain't supposed
not always rowing. Not always rowing.
Look, I ain't even in no rowboat no more. Can we be in a boat? Yeah. with the crew?
Absolutely.
Look, even the pirates knew to have a captain and a crew. Anyway, it is 6:57.
Oh wow!
I know. See, that's how time fly when you're having fun.
It is.
So now it's time for announcements. It's about you telling us about what's going on with you, what's going on with all the things. Since now that we understand that this is not just about D ConneX, this is about Donzaleigh Powell. I just love your name. I like saying it.
Thank you.
I mean, it just seems like, I don't know, somebody present Donzaleigh Powell. Anyway. So tell us about all the things going on with you and your empire.
So I'll
announcements that you have as well.
Sure. So I'll start with, under D ConneX, I have a subsidiary, which is D Connection TV, pretty much where locally we have, we're on Channel 19 3 days a week in Nashville and the surrounding areas. And this show is basically a talk show, and we showcase businesses, also nonprofits that are doing exceptional things. One of the things that I saw in all of those other positions previously was how, like you mentioned, those silos were happening. People just didn't know what was going on. And so this is kind of my way of giving back, to say, hey, let me create a platform to where you can find out about these things or showcase your business. So that's D ConneX. You can find that on DConneXLLC.com. There is a tab specifically for the TV show, or if you were interested in being a guest, a sponsor, any of those things. I've kind of started moving into, I feel really comfortable, I guess maybe because of the show, which I guess that's helped me. All of my positions, I've had to do presentations and speaking roles and all of those things, but now I feel even more comfortable. So now I'm kind of starting more hosting events, whether that's formal events, fun events. Like, I really just enjoy, again, it's the energy. Like, I just really love engaging with people. So being able to do that has been something that, whether that, like, I've done the Knoxville Caribbean Jerk Festival, like there's been an array of things that I've kind of been able to dibble and dabble in a little bit, as far as getting that brand, kind of some people knowing about it. And I'm excited. It's been fun so far. Photography.
So on your website, you can click book me as a host.
Yeah, well, really on that one, it could just be a message. Still DConneXLLC.com for that, for sure. And then I've been doing photography now for well over 10 years. And that's a fun thing. I like to mention that's more the creative, just having fun. And that's DonzaleigHsphotography.com. So always looking for any type. I like weddings. I've mentioned that before. I like weddings the most, but I still do other, standard photography as well. And let's see what else is going on. It's kind of so much. It's hard to think about, but I guess let me touch on the surety bonding real quick. So the surety bonding, again, is typically, most of my clients are in the construction industry. Some are not. They might be accountants, notaries, anybody that needs a bond. I'm licensed and able to do that as well, serve as a broker. So yeah, I mean, whatever you got, let me know.
Just reach out to her and start talking to her, and she'll tell you if she can't do it, then she knows
I
who
probably
can
know
do
somebody that can. Yep, probably know somebody that can.
Okay, everybody just reach out to her. She'll find you what you need. Yep. She's the source. She's the source.
Even if you're a foodie, even if you're a foodie like I am, you can find me on Facebook, Donzie Eats. That's DonzieAts, all ran together, Donzie Eats. So you can follow. I usually post a lot of the places that I go, kind of places, so that I like to kind of rate them a little bit. I don't do them too harsh. I try not to do them too harsh, but I let you know if I really, really like it, or you can kind of probably tell if I really, really don't. So, so things like that. So again, just living life, but things that I love, I try to express and communicate on the different platforms, depending on what people are interested in.
Well, one thing that I like to do with the local wonders is to have a testimonial for the person that comes on. And I didn't specifically ask you to get me someone, because I am going to do a testimonial. Okay, so I reached out to Donzaleigh specifically for photography. Now, of course, I knew about all the other things. We probably are going to be doing some kind of other collaboration at some point, because we have very similar values in it. And if it's, I feel like I don't know. But anyway, I did a photo shoot with my daughter and I needed headshots specifically. And so all the things you may see about on me is usually the photos that she did for me. And I'm talking about, she put so much effort into it. It's like, it's about you. And she spent undivided attention and direction and laughter, and she makes you feel at home and safe.
We laughed a lot.
What?
I said, yeah, we laughed a lot.
Mm-hmm. My daughter still talks about the experience. My daughter wants her own photo shoot. But look, anyway, girl, you give them a little taste, and then all of a sudden. But I'm trying to do a testimonial right now.
I'm sorry.
If you want somebody to come and take care of you for real, like, I actually had 2 other photographers that I work with, and they left some, they did what they needed to do, but it's like I was just upgraded. Absolutely. And I probably won't ever go to anyone else if I need any kind of work. I actually was thinking about her this weekend. Then I remembered I was supposed to be doing this right here. So I highly recommend her, but that experience goes into everything else that she does. She told me about all these different people that I needed to connect with when we were talking. She also is just very much responsive and is a good business owner, in that she is responsive, had my pictures right when I needed my pictures, was communicated well. And I had a overall amazing experience, and don't see a reason why I need to go anywhere else. So go check her out for that, but contact her for everything else too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you so much. And you all, this was our local wonder, Donzaleigh Powell. You all have a good night.
All right. Bye.